Well, hello, folks. I'm so glad you're here with us today. And I have a special friend with me today. We got Jenny.
Hey, everyone.
And we got, let's see who's in the chat. We got Jamie, who actually is on time for a change. Just kidding, Jamie. Then we got Dink and Tank. Welcome. Helena. Hello. And Linda Peterson. She loved the patchwork quilt. I wish it was mine. And I tried to, make it, inviting, because we got two quilters on today, right? We should dress up the thumbnail. And we got Linda. She's our two favorite people. Thank you, Linda. And we got Jesse moderating. Thank you. And Teresa Jukewitz. And we got Michelle, who's listening because she's at work. Welcome, Michelle. I didn't even tell Michelle you're coming on today. You know Michelle.
So, yeah.
And we got Suburban Hillbilly. Hello. And we got Wild Nature Farm. Welcome. Well, we got a lot of people here. Yes. Is that just, yeah, she's working. Yes. And there's Cindy. Welcome in. And Patty Coach. I'm sure. And Teresa. That's a new one. Welcome, Teresa. Or if I just don't remember. And Rebecca's sharing your channel. If you don't know know Jenny, I'm sure you all do. But anyway, Jenny, why don't you tell us about your channel, even if people don't know who you are.
My channel is Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen, and I try to show how to make everything from scratch. Basically, it's cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Well, when I was single, I would take this, pre-made stuff at the store and heat it up. Yeah,
I've been a mom for a really long time, and I was a single mom, and I thought like Bisquick was for rich people. I couldn't afford that kind of really cool stuff, so I just made it all from scratch because it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's definitely cheaper than
and it's how my grandma did it, so
it's like over almost $5 at the store for Bisquick.
Bisquick is insane. I mean, I thought it was expensive when I was raising my kids. I can't afford it now. Holy guacamole.
And we got Virginia. Welcome. She's from Pennsylvania. And we have Marge and Kelly. Hi, Kelly. And Elaine.
Hi, Elaine.
Elaine won at Noodle November yesterday.
She also won from Croctober. Took me a little bit to get the stuff out, though, because I had so much going on. So, Elaine, I hope you got your stuff. If not, you should be getting it today or tomorrow.
And there's Rebecca, Touched by Yarn. Do you have one of her hats?
Mm-mm.
Since you're freezing to death, maybe.
It's only 69 here in Arizona today. I am freezing.
It's even 60 here.
I have my shawl on and everything.
I looked at her. I'm like, "You're freezing."
Mm-hmm.
My cheeks are rosy.
If it hits 60 in this house, my husband's got the heat on or builds a fire.
Well, Rebecca says the Suburban Hillbilly says Bisquick is gross. I accidentally bought the Bisquick with added protein. That stuff's nasty.
Wow.
Don't even.
I never buy it. I just got so used to never buying it. I just don't.
And there's Mike from MD Heritage Farms. And we got Randy from Maryland and Cyber. Welcome. So I invited Jenny on today because Jenny's like one of those YouTubers or video creators, whatever you want to call it, who supported me when I got started. Like she was one of the first ones to, reach out and say, hey, you want to make a video for October that first year, 3 years ago already. And ever since she's got my back. So, and now she's hosting the cookie, what's it called? Cookie Recipe Exchange?
The Christmas Cookie Recipe Exchange, yes.
So,
remember those good old-fashioned cookie exchange parties? I love those. Haven't had one in a really long time, but I thought I was trying to do that on here. So a cookie recipe exchange, and then and leave it open so everybody can join in and share their recipes either in the comments or make a video. And if you decide to make a video, you can tag me on it and I will just automatically add you to the playlist.
I'm actually going to one next week. I'm
Are
excited.
you?
Yeah, you just
I miss doing that, but when I used to work as a nurse, I would
Mhm.
invite all the nurses over and we would have the cookie exchange party, but now I don't, and everybody's kind of gone their own way and is busy, so I don't have the cookie parties anymore.
Well, if you didn't live over the other side of the country, I'd say, hey, come with me to my cookie party. And it's all quilters, so you would fit in right just there. Hey,
Yeah.
Sandy. Sandy's kind of a neighbor. She lives in the same area. She's keeping busy, I hope. I'm sure she is. Anyhow, but
Busy
yeah.
time of year.
Mm-hmm. So on Friday, I think we're just to drop whenever we feel like it.
Yes, anytime. There's no stipulation on it. Just anytime. If you want to drop morning, in the afternoon, evening, however works best for you.
Virginia says she's a retired nurse.
Nice.
Did we lose sound? Maybe. I don't know.
Can you not hear me?
I hear you.
Oh,
Does
okay.
anybody else hear us? Hey, Tina. Welcome in. Hey, somebody let me know. I know Suburban Hillbilly would be right there. We have only 8 thumbs up. We better get that better here. Teresa, home. Hey, Don Ray B. Welcome in. All right. All our moderators are saying we're good. And
Okay,
Randy says we're good. All right. So, Teresa, you need a refresh. Somebody tell what arrived today. Oh, your prize from Croctober? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
All
good.
Right.
Good.
Oh, I didn't say hello to Farm Wife. Hello. I'm so glad you guys are here. So let's go back to the cookies that I've made for this exchange in the years past. And remember how I asked you how I should name the first cookie? My mom's ABC cookies.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Those are the cookies that I have to make every year, but there's so much work. You have to chop up the oranges, the sunflower seeds, the dates, the raisins, the apples, the carrots. Oh, it's so much work.
Oh, yeah, sounds like it. And I was just looking up sugar plums, like the Victorian era recipe sugar plums.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, geez, that's a lot of stuff to chop up.
Hey, Butler Family Farm. I'm going to try to start going just starting at 5:30. I've been, yes, Suburban Hillbilly. That was why I was nervous about putting that, because my ex-boyfriend would say they're already been chewed. No, they are very fragrant. I don't know. If I don't have those, I don't think it's Christmas. Along with Pennsylvania Dutch sand tarts. They're a very thin sugar cookie with either a walnut or sprinkles on it. Oh yeah, and I did those peppermint hot chocolate cookies last year. What else? And I did those mini chocolate chip tarts that had the cream cheese filling. Those are so good.
I am so excited about baking season. I'm ready.
You and me both.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do, I usually do it later toward Christmas so that people have fresh stuff for their Christmas Eve and day. But I think I'm going to switch it up and do my baking now and give to the neighbors so that I just want to eat some.
I know we have a cookie swap at church, and I decided not to participate just because my husband's always complaining, why do we need more cookies? But he gets all these sweets anyhow.
I never hardly bake anymore, and I used to bake constantly, and I had a baking business. I catered, and I did wedding cakes and birthday cakes, and I catered for or provided all the baked goods for coffee shops in Scottsdale. I've had a few accounts. So that was awesome. And my kids were in high school, so the boys were constantly eating it back then. Now they're men, and they're watching their weight, and they're always keto. Makes me crazy.
How to make a keto cookie?
I don't want to. I love carbs.
It doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, and my son's like, oh well, something gluten free and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm consuming all the gluten everybody else isn't. I like real baking.
Butterball cookies are good and easy. Farm Wife, you're going to have to share that recipe with us. I know I had a subscriber last year send me a recipe for shrimp something, but she said they were a butter cookie and they were really good. I have to try those. Hey, Janet.
Shrimp in a cookie?
It wasn't shrimp, but it was in the name, shrimp. I have to. I don't want to go back and look for the email right now while we're live, but it was touching that an actual subscriber actually sent me a recipe from their family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. That's what I love about the cookie recipe exchange. People share their recipes in the comments, and I got a lot of good recipes the past couple of years, just even from the comments. Let alone the videos. And the videos are always great. No, tamales are not carb free because they're made with corn.
Yeah, Jenny would be the best person to answer that question. Dana says, hi to both of you. It takes talent, in my opinion, to cook from scratch. I used to make cookies, which had enough stuffed date, dipped in a soft dough, then buttercream icing, lost the recipe.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I love dates.
Michigan rock cookies. I have that video on my channel. Those get better after they sat a week. Like, they're amazing. I got those. I didn't get the recipe, but those came in my Christmas exchange at church, and they're amazing.
I can't wait to make gingerbread. That's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
go ahead.
Oh, I did the mincemeat stuffed cookies last year. I love the mincemeat. I used my mincemeat jam. So good.
I have a quart of mincemeat in my cellar from my mother. I don't know how many years old it is, but I should open it up and use it.
Oh, mincemeat was my grandma's favorite. When I was a kid, I was always like, ew, gross. Why would you eat that? Now, I love mincemeat. Fruitcake. I love fruitcake.
I made an apple pie 2 weeks ago, and I don't know why. It was an apple raisin. What else is in it? And for some reason, it had no cinnamon, and it had lemon zest, and something else. And my husband's like, "This tastes like mincemeat."
Oh, I bet it would.
It had a lot of citrus taste in it, and no cinnamon. So I was like, why am I eating an apple pie that tastes like mincemeat? It was mind blowing. So Nanny Tam is having problems with her computer. It got bumped her into another live.
That's weird.
So I guess, have you ever made fruitcake from scratch?
Yes. It's been quite a few years. I haven't made it in a long time. But I keep trying to convince my kids because they always hear stuff about fruitcake and everybody makes fun of it. And I'm like, what's to make fun of a nice butter cake that's full of fruit and nuts? And you don't have to put the alcohol on it. I don't.
My mother-in-law made one a couple of years ago from scratch. So
I just skip the alcohol and we eat it fresh rather than covering it in alcohol and letting it sit.
That was like one thing we always got growing up from somebody would always give us a fruitcake every year. Hey, Bev. Welcome in. And Dark Bird Moment, welcome in. They're getting pushed to an arthritis live.
Huh. That's weird.
So, I think, what other cookies? Oh, Jamie says she hasn't had a sand tart cookie since she was a little kid. That just breaks my heart. And my niece is in that video. And the ABC cookies, she's in that video. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with YouTube. You would think they want you to keep watching the same live.
I don't know.
She used to make fruitcake every year for my dad until he passed. I'm allergic to the nuts, but I make up and got it made each year. I miss him so much. Oh, I'm sorry. My mother would always make mince meat pie for the Mennonite relief sale. Aw. I don't think we have a Mennonite relief sale this time of year.
I thought I saw something in the comments, somebody asking if mincemeat had real meat in it. It used to. The original recipe years ago did, and then somewhere along the line it changed into just nuts and like the nut meat and fruit.
Well, my recipes call for suet, and I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, suet, but that's just the fat.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Randy said, does mincemeat actually contain meat? No. It's
no longer.
So what else is there for Christmas besides bread? I just remember my mom had the Betty Crocker cookie book.
Oh, that's so funny. I was watching a video yesterday, a channel. She does all retro recipes because I love retro recipes and I do a lot of them myself.
Mm-hmm.
And she had that book in particular.
I'm sure my mom still does. I think my mother-in-law still does too. And I would always say, why can't we do this one? Why can't we do this cookie? Well, it's because it took more time and you have to have room temperature butter and you have to freeze them. And or the ones with.
Do you have your baking list together?
Oh no.
I have not put my baking list together either, which normally I'm on it and it's done 2 months before holiday baking starts. I haven't done it this year. All I did is go purchase everything I needed. So I went to Trader Joe's the other day and got a bunch of nuts at the cheapest price there, I think.
I have a 12-pound bag of walnuts sitting on my counter, and my mother-in-law came over to help me with the quilt for my father, and she just starts munching on them. I'm like, if you keep eating them, we're not going to have cookies. Well, yeah. Virginia's pumpkin pie recipe comes from 1930s Pet Milk Cookbook. Wow.
I collect old cookbooks, and that's what I do when I go antiquing. I look for the old cookbooks. I love the old recipes.
But now the problem is our ingredients that, like cake mixes or stuff, they're coming in smaller packages.
Yeah, it's definitely different, but I try not to use like the regular mix kind of stuff because it's not something I traditionally buy.
Oh, I was just reading that on Facebook the other day. People were complaining about how many less ounces are in a cake mix than it was a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of the old recipes ask for Orlean. Is that like a different word for margarine?
You mean oleo?
Yes. Yeah, oleo. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, and I'm not going to use margarine.
Yeah, me either. I always just put butter.
Especially if I have the cow,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried using homemade butter in cookies, and I heard there's a difference.
I'm sure there is. I haven't done it either.
So, yeah, maybe this week I'll be brave and see what the difference is.
I use a lot of lard because down here that's what we use a lot of. And I don't do enough pork to make it myself. I do save all my pork fat, so I'm building up a supply to make some, but I just go down to the market and pick it up. They make it fresh down there every day.
I keep telling myself we should raise pigs just so I have lard on hand, but well, Rebecca's saying Orla, yeah, I can't even pronounce it, is margarine.
Yeah, it is. All my grandmother's handwritten recipe cards, she has that written in there. I just replace it with butter for every recipe.
But when you use butter, they'll go flatter.
Yes. Margarine has much more water in it.
Mm-hmm.
But butter still makes them taste better.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
and I would never use a Crisco shortening in a cookie.
Well, the cookie I was going to do tomorrow, it's called Mother's Cookies. It was in a Pennsylvania Grange cookbook. And growing up, we would always make this cookie. It's like basically how I learned how to bake is making this cookie because it was so easy when I was a little kid, and it has shortening in it. So I can whip them up in less than 5 minutes and have them in the oven because you don't have to wait for the butter to soften or the batter to chill. So I had Howard taste them. He's like, they're not bad. And I even made them plain without any, nuts or raisins or chocolate chips in them. Because my mom was too cheap to put anything in them. So I'm just used to that. Or she would put a little sugar on top. Just looking to see who's in the chat. Butter is God-made product. Absolutely.
Pretty sure it's the secret to life. Anybody who omits it probably isn't super happy.
Welcome, Peggy. I'm wondering if I missed anybody, but I'm still in the chat, Leanne. I didn't know you left. Anyway. So, yeah, I don't remember the last time I bought margarine. It has at least 20 years ago. Yeah, butter is awesome. Julia Child loves butter, of course. Well, Don Ray B says that before I moved, I made one of your breads every week.
Nice.
So you want to show us what you were working on for quilting?
Oh, right now I'm still working on, I haven't had time and I had to go get some batting.
Of course.
But my quilt for my granddaughter that was born 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh.
So I got the new Stripology ruler. I am totally in love with it, and that's what I use to make this.
Mm-hmm. Cute.
Do you know what the Stripology ruler is?
I have quilt friends that use them, but I'm into AccuQuilt.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to see if I have my ruler sitting. I know it's here. Oh, my God, my table's covered. This is my cutting table. How do I even see to cut?
That's why I have a folding table out in the hallway.
So
no,
I want to get.
Actually, I'm pretty good right now.
I want to get rid of this, and I want to get those, like tool bench things with drawers in them from Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
They look like a wood top, but they're steel, and you can raise them and lower them. I want to get two of those on wheels so I can move them away from the wall. And they have drawers in there because I've got all this fleece under here in baskets. I want to get it out from under there because my dogs claim them. They'll pull them out of the boxes.
I looked out Facebook Marketplace. I found a kitchen island for $10.
Nice.
That has an extendable leaf. Like, she said there are 6 people behind me responding to her ad. So I was like, and she was like telling me about how there's one spot on the leaf that has nail polish remover. I was like, don't worry, there's going to be a cutting mat on it. I'm not going to care.
This was actually a dining room table. A friend of ours, we bought it from him because he was getting rid of it. And then I've just been using that. But it's too low. It hurts my back to stand there and cut project after project.
Here's a tip. What I use is bed risers.
That's a good idea.
I take them to my quilt retreats. They always ask me to bring the bed risers with me. So we'll prop it up 5 more inches.
Nice. That's a great idea. I didn't think of that. But yeah, I get sick of using that because it's so short that I'm crouched over, and that kills your back after cutting after a while.
Yeah, the last time I cut out a queen size quilt was 6 hours at my friend's kitchen island. Yeah, I couldn't stand the next day.
Oh yeah, I bet. I know when I was cutting out pieces for my fall quilt, and the top's back there, I haven't quilted it yet, but the top's done. And it was a bunch of little houses and pumpkins and leaves, and little pieces. Oh man, that took me 2 days of nothing but cutting.
Mm-hmm. I'm working on a panel of a deer, a buck, and a doe for my father. I want to make it for Christmas for him since he'll be 87 in February. So I figured I better get him a quilt done. So I have 4-inch squares on their sides with triangles for a border. Then I'm going to have other fabrics, boutiques, on around the outside borders for the panel.
Nice.
I would bring it in here, but my mother-in-law might hurt me if I move it.
Oh yeah.
Because we're not using a pattern. She's making the pattern.
Yeah, then definitely. I've got all these pieces cut out, and I've got them all the little alphabetties on them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use alphabetties?
I need some.
I get them from Fat Quarter Shop, and
Uh-huh.
I just keep them in a ball jar.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to show you that ruler, but I don't know what I do with it. Oh,
I understand. My Mennonite friends come into my sewing room and they're like, "Who are you? Why is it so organized?"
Usually I keep it organized, but when I have several projects going at once, plus I just went shopping and I threw everything there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the Stripology ruler.
Uh-huh.
It's got the slits through here.
Mm-hmm.
So when you literally can stack your fabric, line them up if you're making several cuts, and then the mini rotary cutter goes right through the slits, and you just cut.
Mm-hmm.
That way you don't have to keep picking it up and moving it. I love this thing. So I use this for this baby quilt, and I had everything cut out and sewed together in just 2 hours. That took me 2 hours to do.
Wow.
It was so fast.
Yeah, I like cutting faster so I can quilt more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hey,
definitely a fast cutout. I now could kick myself in the butt for not getting the extra large ruler. So now I think I want to get that.
She loves the Stripology.
Yeah, I'm totally in love with it too. So I got to get the extra large Stripology now.
So Molly has a question. What's the difference between that and then the June Taylor strip ruler?
I don't have the June Taylor one, but Suburban Hillbilly, I use my bigger rotary cutter in it as well. I'm sure it won't work if you use the huge one, but
60 millimeter?
Yeah, 60, but I use the 45.
Uh-huh.
It works just fine. I use the 45 and I've got this one. And I use both of them in that.
Yeah, I only have a 45. Hey, Vicky. You use bed risers too. Yeah. I always get phone calls. Can you bring the bed risers? I wish, yeah. I should buy another set just so I don't have to take mine down. Because they're only $5 at Big Lots.
I'm going to have to get some.
Linda wants to know where you get that Stripology ruler.
Oh, I got mine from the annual shop hop. So it was at one of the small little quilt stores in Mesa, Arizona.
Do you think
Amazon has them? You can also get them from GE Designs.
Or Fat Quarter Shop or
yeah, they probably have it too. Yeah.
Or Missouri Star Quilt Company.
Yeah, yeah.
Did I say hi to Vicky? Hi, Vicky. Your 45 doesn't work well, but the one you have to squeeze and make the blade come out. Oh. Is that the one where it's cut like this? It just looks weird.
It does look weird. I've seen people use those. I don't know how they're using them.
Oh.
It is an odd thing. 39 in Ohio. That sounds really cold.
It was 11 here the other morning.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not ready for winter just yet. I hate to know what it is right now.
I like it when it gets chilly like this, but not,
Well, it says it's
usually trying to heat up.
It says it's 40, but when it says 40 there, it really means it's 37 here. Hey, Linda. Linda's here. Welcome.
It gets 40 in the night here, but during the day, it's usually in the 60s.
Xander says it's 7 there.
Wow.
Hey, Skip. Good morning or good afternoon. So, Linda coming in, and now I'm like, I forgot what I was going to say. So how many UFOs do you have?
A lot. I have a stack of quilt tops that I need to quilt, that I need to sandwich together and quilt.
I think I have 6 that are ready to go in the frame if I just measure out their backing.
I don't have the long arm quilter. I really want one. I've been looking at them. I don't have room in this house for it. I really want to move, but until then, I'm willing to move all the furniture out of my living room and just use it for an extra sewing room.
When I brought mine home, my husband let me buy one used, of course, for my 40th birthday. And my mother-in-law was so excited to put it together for me that it went in the living room. And when my husband measured the upstairs to see where it would go, we didn't have a spot.
Mm.
So without complaints, my husband tore down a wall or two just so we can put it upstairs.
Nice.
And
I told my husband it's going in the living room because that's the only spot I have for it, and he said that's fine. I said okay. We don't need to watch TV in there anyway.
He had to rip out some walls. Then I remembered he had to rip out the flooring, which we didn't have. We just had subfloor in that room to begin with. We didn't finish it yet. So he ripped out the subfloor just to make sure the floor was level because our house is like 120 years old now.
Nice.
And he didn't complain. So I think I married the right man, right?
Yeah.
Because he had to put the door in a different spot.
Nice.
Oh. So, yeah.
I so want one. I have a mid-arm, but it's harder to do. That's hard to do with a mid-arm, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get an extra frame for the juki and all that stuff if you're going to do any of the free motion.
I like to do groovy boards. It's a board that you just put your stylus through, and they have I like traditional motifs like the Baptist fan and the clamshells and swirls, and citrus peels. Congratulations! I'm happy for you, and we'll be praying for you, Skip. Yeah, it has to go in the living room. It's the only place for it. Yep. You get a lot more done that way.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm looking into it. I really want one.
So
now I'm like, do I want the quilter or do I want a freeze dryer? Which one do I want the worst right now? Because that one will be first. I think the quilter. I already do thrive, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would be the point?
Yeah.
So is there any quilt shows in your area where you can go test drive them at each dealership?
Yep.
Because that's what my first advice would be is test drive all of them.
Definitely. I want one that has the computer that I can just set it up and it'll do it. I don't have to stand there and do it manually. I don't want to do it manually.
Well, those cost a little bit more money.
Oh, I know.
A little bit more money.
More money, but look how much I could get done. If I get it set up, get that started, then I can just be working on my next quilt right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Save time. I told my husband, well, then I'll advertise in the quilt shops that, people can bring their quilts over.
Mm-hmm.
And charge enough to make the payment every month, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my head, it works out.
Yeah, it would be $50 just for any size to go on the long arm. And then, most quilters will charge 2 cents per square inch. Then more if it's more dense.
Yeah, the quilt shop down the road, I asked him how much for a king size quilt because I have 2 king size quilt tops finished that they need to be sandwiched and quilted, and they told me it would be like $289 each.
Mm-hmm. That's actually reasonable.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, well, if I get a quilter, then I can do that too, maybe, and advertise.
Mm-hmm. I just hear or I read all these comments on Facebook of I'm in long arm, communities on Facebook, and I'm just like, yeah, all the complaints that they complain about their customers. I'm like, is it really worth it?
Mm.
So that's something to think about. Like if their quilt is square and all that kind of stuff.
I used to make wedding cakes.
I know. I'm arguing for that because I want to be able to put up with that. Nope. Our bishop's wife baked my wedding cake, and I paid only $52 for it.
Wow.
And it was a 3-tiered cake.
Nice. I made my own wedding cake. I made the groom's cake, and I catered my entire wedding, and we had it at a resort. That was dumb. Dumb when you're the bride getting married to do it all yourself. I got exactly what I wanted, but...
Mm-hmm. I'm sure the food was good.
Yeah, it was insane. Oh, still, every year I make that for our anniversary, the wedding cake, because it's so good.
Well, Jessie has listed all the quilt shows around the world. Thanks, Jessie.
Wow. Wow.
That is great to know. There was a show in Hershey, Pennsylvania that I like to go to. But unfortunately, the lady that was organized it all, she passed away this past year. So I guess her daughter doesn't want to take over the work or something. But there's supposed to be 2 shows in Lancaster by the American Quilt Society. So if I really want to go to a quilt show, that's the closest I can go. It's 2 hours away.
Well, we have a big one here in Phoenix every spring, and then right after there's one in Tucson, and I go to both.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking, I might just jump over in California and go to those because there's a couple really good ones over there too.
Well, I should have knocked the local show. My quilt club puts on a show. I have a video on our last show.
Do you guys have a shop hop?
There's a couple shops, but the closest one I have is like over an hour away.
No, the shop hop, like an annual shop hop?
Yeah, the quilt shop, they host one. And it's like the same time as the Fall Folk Festival. So that's like the week that I bake so much.
Oh, yeah.
So to go to that hop, I can't imagine how many miles I would have to put on my car.
Yeah, it is. It's huge here too because it's the entire valley. And if you've ever been to Phoenix, our valley isn't just Phoenix. You have Phoenix, Scottsdale, Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert, like the whole area, the whole valley. It is huge. It takes like 2 hours to get from one corner to the other. And I'm up here in one corner, and then you got to drive all the way down to the southern.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun though. I love it doing all the shops along the way. My mom and I do it every year. And one of my daughter-in-laws, both my daughter-in-laws. So I love it. But my other daughter-in-law, this is her second year doing the shop hop this year. And she says, you know what? I think I'm going to make a quilt. She'd never quilted before, but she loves to sew. She makes all her clothes. I said, good, let's do it.
Well, it's different to make clothes than it is to quilt.
It definitely is. They're 2 different things. And a lot of quilters do not make clothes. I make aprons. I made a wedding dress a couple years ago. I make all kinds of stuff. So I love to sew, and then I love to quilt also. And it depends on my mood what I want to do. But then I made the apron for the giveaway for Noodle November. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I forget how much I love to make aprons. And I love the apron I made so much that I'm going to make myself one too.
I thought it was funny that Tony was saying it was quilted. I'm like,
I know. I thought I did comment on there, and I was like, it's not quilted. It's an apron. But
oh my God, how lucky would it be?
I know. Well, people who don't sew they really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
and don't really know what it means to quilt.
Mm-hmm. Jesse's saying a wedding dress.
Yes, I made a beautiful wedding dress. So one of my friends was getting married and she asked me to make her a custom wedding dress and she wanted it floating lace. So I put silk underneath and then I put the netting and then I hand sewed over 40 hours of all the applique onto that dress. Plus I hand dyed it all in different shades of purple because she wanted a purple wedding dress. It was beautiful.
I made a few, well, one apron. I used Constance pattern for the farmhouse apron.
Mm-hmm.
I like hers, how they cross in the back, because I can't handle anything hanging off my neck. I don't know why.
I have a pattern for a cross in the back. But that one is a pattern, and I got it from the quilt show at the downtown Phoenix at the convention center. And I made a large, and it is way too big. The pattern is just, it's really different. And so now I got to make another one, much smaller. But I have so many quilt patterns that I love. The newest one I've been wearing lately on my show, I love that one, but I used the wrong fabric for it.
Got my cake from a lady who needed a wedding dress. Made one for her. Wow, I made mine as also. Wow.
I love weddings. I love everything to do with weddings, from the dress to the cake to the decorations, everything. So anytime my kids are getting married, I'm like so excited. I'm like, all right, let's plan this. I love to party plan, but I'll do it all myself. And when my son and daughter-in-law, my youngest one, got married, they got married 5 years ago. They just had their 5-year anniversary. She had just had my grandson. He's 5. He just turned 5. Mm-hmm. So she had just had him. He was 2 weeks old when they got married. And she tried on her wedding dress that she had pre-ordered. And it was the night before the wedding. And she started crying. And she goes, Jen, my dress just doesn't fit. I can't get in it. And I was like, oh, no crying here. I will fix it. It'll be fine. And I spent the rest of the evening, after baking and cooking all day and making wedding cakes, I spent the rest of the evening ripping out those seams very carefully and fixing that dress. It fit her perfectly the next day.
I'm glad I didn't have to worry about that.
And then she cried when she put her dress on because it fit her perfectly. She's like, I don't even know how you just did that. And I'm like, well, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, the lady that baked my cake, she also made my dress. And she made 2 dresses before she made the wedding dress, just to make sure that my pattern worked.
Nice.
So
yeah, you definitely, if you're personalizing a wedding dress and building it around somebody, you definitely got to do a mock-up first.
Mm-hmm. So
I ended up doing a few mock-ups before I made the rest of the dress too that I made. But the one I did was really difficult. And the funny thing was, I'd never made a wedding dress before. And she asked me if I'd make her a wedding dress. And my mom was standing right there. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll make it. And my mom looks at me and she's like, have you ever made a wedding dress before? And I said, no. And she said, you can't just decide to make a wedding dress and make it. And I'm like, why not?
Sometimes people have their anxiety get the better of them. I think I'm learning that as I get older. And I think that's what I want to show on this channel. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that thinks I can do everything, and you'll have to prove to me that I can't before I'll accept it. And I just do it. So I made that dress, and I told my mom exactly what I was going to make. And by the time I got the dress done, my mom was like, oh my gosh. She's like, exactly what you said. You just pulled it out of your head and here it is. And I'm like, yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, Linda agrees with you. Oh, about emotions run high over those dresses.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the lady that made my dress, she was thankful. I mean, granted, Mennonite dresses are simple to begin with. I mean, some have overlays, but I was like, no, we're going to keep it plain as can be. She's like, oh, at least put a belt on. I'm like, then she's like, at least put round pearls on the belt. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I mean, well, we don't just wear them one day in Mennonite culture. You actually wear them on your anniversary to church.
Mm.
So as long as it fits, of course. But yeah, it's this tradition to actually wear it to celebrate your anniversary. I find that kind of neat.
Well, we come from two different worlds. I wear my wedding dress every year. You know why? I had a Halloween wedding and my wedding dress is black. And my mom made my wedding dress and it's like a halter top and it's black satin. And
Mm-hmm.
the minister who married us, she was so sweet. And she says, "You can't wear all black. That's bad luck. Put a strip of something in there." So I had my mom put a strip of purple up the front. So it's like a
Uh-huh.
purple dart up the middle. It's like a dark purple.
Well, Jenny, you got a new subscriber. You
I
do
love
have
that. Thank you.
your second channel is about quilting, all that.
Yes, my second channel is a sewing channel and it's called Sew Practical.
Jesse, you got that link for us then? No, I'm just kidding, Jesse. I'm sure he'll have it. I
Oh,
was
I
thinking
can,
about starting a second channel just on quilting and sewing, but my
um,
my subscribers have told me just to keep it on this channel.
yeah. So I had other bigger YouTubers tell me, "Oh, you can't do that. You have to split it all up because otherwise people aren't going to follow you. They're going to lose interest and they're going to get off of your channel. They're there for the canning only." So I split it up and I wish I hadn't done that. Do you know how hard it is to keep up and try to do different videos for each channel?
I,
It's
I,
awful.
I thought I was gonna be cray with doing two channels if I can barely get a video up for this channel, a week.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I haven't done a video in like 2 weeks now because we've had so many babies being born and Thanksgiving and it has been insane around here.
Mm-hmm. I don't
But
even know what it's like to have videos in queue.
right, me either anymore. I used to, but
Well, we know Linda always have videos in queue, and I'm just kidding. She does, but she is organized, isn't she?
yeah, I just don't I can't seem to find the time. And then, when my newest granddaughter was just born, she was born too early. She was born with wet lungs, so she was in NICU. Then she came home, then she got jaundice, ended up being rehospitalized. So I've had my grandkids a lot this past couple of weeks and trying to do Thanksgiving with my grandkids.
Well, Jesse found that that channel for you. So if you want to see Jenny sewing, go subscribe to her. But make sure you watch 3 videos and hit the like button so YouTube doesn't unsubscribe you, because YouTube's funny about that kind of stuff. If I remember right, I forget what I was just about to say. Oh, sorry. I started a canning niche and decided I wanted to move, so I changed the name. Oh yeah, from Tulu Preserves to Tulu Creates, so I can do whatever I want.
Well, that's nice, and I'm glad that you did that. But when I just had Jeni Gough, and then I had somebody tell me you need to change your channel name. So I'm like, all right. And then I went back and forth with a couple other YouTube channels, and they were like, yeah, you need to niche way down and only have one thing on that channel. So I took that advice. I wish I had not.
But your channel doubled right after you changed your name.
I know, but I still not now I got to keep up the different channels. And I'm not going to talk about my third channel, but I have 3 channels.
I didn't know you had a third channel.
Yeah.
What was I say? Oh, that's why I went and I named my channel. I just wanted to make sure anything that I did fell underneath that umbrella.
Yeah. And then after I changed my name, I'm like, oh, I should have called it my desert kitchen because I'm out here in the desert. So I could change. I could go through another name change. Who knows? But I'll probably wait until I move because I am looking to move. I don't want to stay here. This house is too small now. Crazy. As you get older, you think that you downsize, but we just keep getting busier and busier and more grandkids and more hobbies, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking, boy, with all my cooking, like my husband's like, you have a lot of storage. I keep asking for more, like a butler's pantry or something.
Yeah.
Hi, Karen. And I'm like, Howard, I need more storage. He's like, you have more than most people. I'm like, most people don't cook from scratch.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have storage either. I have the third bedroom in our house. Our house is only 3 bedrooms, and our house was built in the 60s. So it's very 60s style Midwestern, or what do you call that? Mid-century,
Mm-hmm.
not Midwestern. It's very mid-century modern. And this is one of the bedrooms. And my husband has like the closet full of cubby holes for my fabric. And then the third room that, huh?
Just one closet full of fabric?
Yes, because the rest of the fabric is under this table. This table has so much fabric under it. It's ridiculous. Have you never seen my closet?
Uh-uh. Oh my, that's a big closet.
Yeah, so that's all fabric stuffed in there, and that's 2 layers deep. And then there's these things all are full of fabric also.
Wow.
Yeah. But this was my son's bedroom. And then when he moved out, then my husband turned it into my sewing room.
Uh-huh.
But so I have 1 bedroom left, and I've got it lined with shelves because it houses my dehydrators, my pressure cookers,
Mm-hmm.
my extra crock pots, all that stuff is in there.
Yeah, I keep telling myself, oh, maybe I should just only have one of, yeah, I can't do it. I think, well, I know I could probably get rid of the power cooker, but it was a wedding present. And, what if my cousin comes over and sees it? I don't have it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, you have a lot of fabric. It took me a couple hours the other day to go through what I have.
Oh gosh, I don't even know what I have because this whole table, I reorganized my fabric and it has totes under there. They have fabric folded up in the totes. So I have an insane amount, which a lot of it's retro stuff, which I love. And I'm trying really to use it up. Oh.
Well, Linda says, I want a house that's designed around the kitchen, not a house with a kitchen in it. Exactly.
Yeah, when we remodeled this place 5 years ago, we gutted the entire thing to remodel it. So my kitchen, we put in brand new and I designed it. So it's right there in the middle. And that's where my fireplace is in my dining room, and the living room's off to the side. Living room is like the least used room. When we're here, we're in the dining room kitchen. The kids come over, we stay in the dining area.
And Karen has a comment.
My fabric store. Oh gosh. Yeah. Fabric store. I don't know about. Anybody who has fabric would be like, ooh, trying to get rid of your fabric. Oh, I don't know about that.
I know I'm blessed with my kitchen, but I'm like, it's not big enough. I have like wall-to-wall cupboards and there's still not enough room.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have enough room either. My house is small though.
She has a whole garage tiered shelf just for crock pots and pressure cookers. Karen.
Yeah, that's my bedroom over there. The third bedroom is full of that stuff.
And Linda's mom owned a quilt store, and she has tons of fabric I kept after she passed away. I donated tons and tons to a group that makes quilts for kids in hospitals. Oh, that is a blessing.
That is nice.
Hopefully I'll get some quilts done for like kids in foster care, or I've been wanting to do dresses for stillborns. What's it called? The Angel Project.
Yep. My sister called me, Jen, can you make dresses for stillborn babies? And I said, no. Why don't you do it? She wanted me to give them to her so she could send them in and take credit?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't care about the credit, but I'm like, I don't have time. If you want to make them, then you do it.
I don't know if I could do it. I would just be too sad about, the family that'd be blessed with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, Rudy. Howdy. Yeah, Linda never learned to quilt. We have to remedy that. She did do one quilt, that paper piece one, from scraps. Fishing season's over. The rearranging of the house starts. Yeah, I keep telling myself that. It's going to be a madhouse. So, well, folks, remember that the Cookie Exchange collaboration by Jeni is going to be this Friday. You did put Sunday too, right?
Well, I put if anybody wants to do a video and add it in, anywhere between Friday to Sunday. If you tag me, I'll add them into the playlist.
And it's open to anybody that has a cookie recipe.
Yep.
And if you don't want to be on camera and just want to share your recipe, I'm sure you can just type it up on the video and even a short.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything goes.
You don't have to be in front of the camera.
Yeah. Or you can share in the comments too.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks, Jeni. I appreciate you coming on and spending some time with us. And hopefully we can do this sometime soon. Yeah, again. Definitely. Next side to show off. Howdy. She has a recipe. Oh, there's Tina. Hi, Tina. If you want the logo for this collaboration, I'm sure she will want to do one. Where's it at? There you are, Tina. She'll want to make a cookie recipe for you. She's a channel that she does cooking from scratch too. I met Tina once and spent the day with her. And Linda has a cookie recipe she wants to try. I think I'm going to try cookies from A Country Life. Jennifer Brockman. I got her cookbook, and I'm going to try one of her recipes. Hey, Jesse or Suburban Hillbilly, if you're still in here to link Jeni's channel. Or Tina, I can just email you the link or the PNG. I can just forward it to you. That's not a problem. Hey, Willow's Garden fam. Welcome in. And I guess we're about to get off here because if Mouse Toast comes in here and says I'm over an hour, she'll. Thanks, Michelle. I hope you get your work done. So, I don't know if I'll be on next week just because it's going to be crazy for Christmas and the Monday after that is Christmas. So, I don't think we'll be on for Christmas.
Holy moly. I can't believe we're this far. We're at the end of the year already.
2 Mondays from now.
Right.
So,
I'm not yet.
I realized that this morning. I'm like, oh, Christmas is that close.
That's crazy.
Let's go, Morley Ann. Molly is ripping. Yeah, we'll definitely have some cookie videos this week. I might have more than one coming out this week. But, I said that last week and look what happens. Yeah. I forget what happened.
I've been concentrating more on like hors d'oeuvres and party eats.
Yeah, my cheese ball video that I posted, 2 years ago is doing very well right now.
I am uploading right now as we're talking. I'm uploading my potted cheese recipe.
Oh.
It is my favorite, and I made it today, but I will make it again before Christmas because we'll want it then too. And I'm going to eat it for lunch every gosh darn day until it's gone. Mm-hmm. I'm terrible at cheese and crackers.
My husband
I won't let it go.
So bad that we have a cheese drawer.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I got a cheese drawer too.
So since we probably, if I'm on next week, I'm on next week. But
Sharon, I didn't know that either. That's funny.
Yeah, we didn't know that all this live that it was cookie day.
We've been talking cookies through the whole live, and we didn't even know.
Who knew?
Well, how fitting. Well, Karen knew.
Yeah, Karen. Well, Karen just realized.
Oh.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, guys, and remember to pay it forward, and remember to make it a great day. Or God gave you a great day. Now go do it something great. Take care.
Bye, everyone.